Hello everyone, my name is Munjima Dattu and it's my third task video, and this time I was given a detailed data set to do exploratory data analysis on. So here I present my third video showing how I did this exploratory data analysis on retail dataset. So at first I imported some libraries as per my requirement, that is NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib library, Seaborn, NumPy for numerical calculation, and Pandas for reading dataset, Matplotlib library and Seaborn for plotting data into graphs. And then I inserted the data that was already given in my task format, and it's in the CSV format, so I took help of the module Panda SPD. And my dataset contained a lot of rows and a lot of columns, so I had to just take first 10 rows out of this dataset and represent it as my output. Here's my output of my first 10 rows, and then I try to represent the last 10 rows of my dataset. Here is my output. And then I tried to gather some basic ideas about the dataset, as in its shape, information, its description. As we can see here from the shape, it contains now 9,994 rows and 13 columns. And if we see the information, then there are 3 types of floats data and 2 types of integer data and 8 types of object data. And we can check here there are no non-null values in any of my features of the dataset. And then I come to the description part. So it has been done using 5-point summary format, and it includes minimum value of the dataset of each features, the first quartile, median value, third quartile, and the maximum value. And then I went to check for duplications of features in the dataset, and I used this command to do this. And I observed that there are 17 values as far they are duplicated, and then I tried to remove them. So here's my command, and I try to drop them as my dataset is very much huge to see this change, but it has already been removed. All the duplicated values have already been removed from the dataset. And then I went to check for null values of features in the dataset, and using this command I have this output. And as we can see here, there are no non-null values of any of my features. So no null value of any feature is noticed here. So other than duplications, we are not missing any value. And then I checked for uniqueness of each feature, and it is my output. And we can see here there are 4 types of choices of ship mode. There are just 1 country included in my dataset, and so on. And as the postal code feature and the feature country is not helping in our further calculation for the dataset, so we now try to drop them using this command, this drop command. As we can see here, the postal code column and the country column have already been removed from the dataset after performing this operation. And then I counted the total number of sales and profit and try to feed them, try to represent them using a graph. As we can see here, there is a curve slightly upward showing that there is a positive relationship between these 2 features. And then I tried to give visualization of each feature of my dataset, that is ship mode, segment, region, category. As we can see here, standard class from ship mode shows the highest level of count, and then consumer from segment category, it shows the highest peak of count, and then west region, and then office supplies from category. And then if I come to the state part, we can see California shows the highest level of count, and the highest purchase from California has been made till now. And then subcategory format, It has also been done for binders subcategory and for quantity. Purchases for 2 and 3 items together have contributed to the equal shares of highest sale, as we can see here. And after coming to the discount part, we can see that we notice most of the sales have been made based on zero discount. And after all this individual representation of each feature, I just tried to plot them I just used pair plot to plot them to plot pairwise values based on segments, first of all segments, and then based on regions, and then also based on categories. Well, these are the diagrammatic representations between categories sales, between quantity and categories, between discount and categories, between profit and categories, and so on. And then I tried to give some idea about the correlation of each pairwise values, and this is my correlation chart, and I tried to give a very better understanding of correlation using a heat map. So here's my output. As we can see here, sales and quantity share positive relationship, whereas sales and discount share negative relationship, and so on. And correlations between values have been represented very neatly using a heat map. Here we can see some of the pair values show positive correlations and some of them show negative correlations. And after that, I tried to compute covariances between features, and this is my result. Okay, so basically computing covariances helps us gain a better understanding about their direction. So we can see some of the covariances are positive, stating both of the corresponding features move to the same direction, and negative covariance of two features states if one of them follows one direction, another one will move to the opposite way. And then I stepped on the most interesting part, most important part of analyzation part. So here I try to detect the outliers that were already present in my data set, and using box plot I tried to represent the visualization of my cell feature. Here's the box plot, and then I tried to give the box plot presentation of quantity, and then the box plot of discount, and followed by the diagrammatic representation of profit. So here you can see there are many more values come as outliers, and they lie outside the average dataset range. So they may cause error or produce false prediction after. So here we try to remove them. So applying IQR method, that is interquartile range method, here we try to detect the outliers and then remove them. And after all these commands and after all these computations, we finally succeeded to reshape the data after taking all the outliers out, and this is our final modified shape of our data set. So after all these procedures, after all these computations, I finally list all the observations about the dataset, and these are all my observations that I have noticed all through my scripts, all through my projects. So right after all this little modification to the dataset, at first we directly went to the data visualization part, and these are my observations, and these are my observations about the correlations. And finally, I try to draw the conclusions about my data set. That is, we need to make more supplies of products to all those different categories that showed the highest deal of purchases to gain extra amount of profit. As well, we need to spread light to all those weak areas that contribute the least to the share of sales. And with this, my task is finally completed, and here I stop my video. Thank you.